So I'm just putting a little bit of I'm just trying to tone the background. It's always good to give your figures a little bit of context. So context meaning I want to make this figure kind of like stand separate from the background. So I'm just kind of putting some tone to it. Because it's always hard to understand shape and form if there's nothing to contrast it with. So you always need something to. You need your focus, like your subjects, to be compared to something else, so that you can fully understand your subject's shape and form. Little baby owl. So to give context to your drawing, you can use value or color. So now that I'm adding in color, you can add contrast by adding color. Well, not contrast means value differences, but you can add like ways to delineate, like even though you have like, so this is full saturation, but that's a middle gray in value. To the eye, there's a difference between these two colors, right? But then if we desaturate, they're the same. So wait, let me do that better. So just like this very carrot orange versus this other like carrot soup orange. Like if I press really hardly and make sure this is very opaque and I desaturate, those are the same gray, right? It's the same value, right? Because it's in the middle of the triangle. So one way to make contrast or delineate spaces on the canvas is through color, right? So it's through value and color that you you create forms on the canvas. Oh, you like it, Owl? Who would have known that you were gonna like it? Not me. It's such a surprise. I'm surprised. What's messed up? Yeah. Yeah, you're sick. You're one sick puppy. Dun, 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 dun. What? Buffer not right now? I don't know what you're saying. You're crazy. You're one of those crazy people I heard about on TV. Yeah, it's probably because it's being streamed to so many places at once. Maybe. You saw me on TV? What TV? What are you talking about? Is this what party hats look like? I don't know. Yeah, I was on Animal Planet. I was the bear. Oh. Yeah. I don't know, I just thought Slumbering Giant had like a really cool sound to it. It just sounds really, it sounds important, it sounds kind of epic, it sounds mystical, it sounds fun, it sounds fantastical. Yeah, here's one of those basic. Here's one of those basic bitches. Don't worry about it. Wait, you want to tussle? You want to fight with me? I'll fight you. Yeah. Yeah, ask your parents first if you can come fight me. Go ask permission from your parents. God, I'm so hungry. Alright. There you go, Owl. You can keep that. You can keep that if you want. What do you mean try? What, you don't think I can do it? So I have to like try? Fuck you. I ain't no punk. Oh man, the ding. The dings, so many dings. There, you happy, Owl? Are you happy I drew you an owl? The dinging noise is coming from the other website. Whenever someone types in chat on the other website, it dings for every message. So it's that's a setting that they need to change. Do you enjoy the dinging? It's a lot of dinging. So I think I'm gonna stop streaming on Watch Me Work. I think I'm gonna try to or maybe not. I don't know. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer questions. I'm not doing anything particularly taxing. This is like a practice drawing that I'm doing. I'm not really working on anything right now. I'm just doing little doodles because I haven't been drawing the last few days, so I just needed to practice. If anyone has any questions, requests, pieces of art that they want me to critique, I'll definitely critique something for somebody. Oh, hey! I don't know how to say your name. Jasmo Colors? Jasmo? Yasmo? Is it Spanish? Yasmo? But hey, how's it going? How did you find me? I guess you just looked up Slumbering Giant on Twitch and then you found me. Oh, Jasmo? Okay. It's it's a little confusing streaming on that site. It's a little confusing. I had to get used to streaming on because we're streaming through YouTube, right? And then the Watch Me Work like bites the feed or whatever and rebroadcasts it. It's a little confusing, and it's a little nerve-wracking knowing that there are 3 chats open because you are streaming on YouTube, but there's probably nobody there, right? Because there's no kind of like page on YouTube that you can just browse streamers, right? The only place where you can browse streamers is on the YouTube has like a gaming section for streaming, but like there's a gaming section, but it's not really connected to YouTube. You have to know that it exists to go find it. Like they haven't like officially like cross advertised between YouTube and their streaming site. But YouTube apparently has a gaming streaming section, and then for all of like the normal streams, like in the options you can choose to stream to gaming or just not gaming, and I don't know where there's like a browsing page to like yeah, they're still figuring out. It's all still in like beta, and everything's like organized. I had the hardest time trying to find the URL code so that I could stream on multiple platforms. Like I didn't understand that I had to wait, and you have to wait like a significant amount of time. You have to like wait a minute for the YouTube stream to start, and it'll make like an entry on your event live streaming thing, and that's where you can find the URL. It was a little confusing. I was like, what's going on? I just felt really stupid. I was like, oh, where is everything? Oh shit, I didn't turn on my Twitch alerts. But you know, Chris approached me, and you know, I think it's cool what he's trying to do, and so I'm trying to support him and trying to it'll be really cool if Watch Me Work you know, grows and becomes something bigger, and it'll be really cool for us personally if, you know, it's always cool when you're one of the early adopters. And oh cool, thanks for the follow, Jasmo. Welcome to the slumber party. But yeah, it'll be cool if it picks up and blows up. That'll be cool. But it's a tough market. Everyone's getting into streaming. Because, like, in the Restreamio thing or whatever, like, there's so many options. I didn't know there were that many websites to stream off of. Yeah. Can we have a pillow fight? Yeah. Yeah, apparently. I guess I've just never looked. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just doing a little warm-up drawing. I haven't been streaming lately, so I'm just trying to get back into the habit of it. It's I don't know. It takes time getting used to streaming again, and like not accidentally showing all my information all the time and telling everybody where I live. Just like, I don't know, just the little bugs and little hiccups. But I think definitely I want to get into making videos on YouTube. I think I think making videos on YouTube is a really good way to pick up a following. Um, because those videos are like permanent kind of advertisements for you, your brand, and your stream, and I think it's a cool kind of way to reach more people because yeah, there is an unknown etiquette. Like, I don't know, can I stream on? I mean, can I swear? Like, I feel like I can swear here, and I can be like, I can be kind of rowdy because that's kind of the atmosphere of Twitch, right? Atmosphere of Twitch is like pretty rowdy and like a bunch of trolls all over the place, and it's like fun, right? It's don't take anything too seriously. But then I'm like, I don't know what the rules are on YouTube. Um, yeah, you can mark your Twitch as mature. Yeah. And I don't know what I don't really remember seeing a term of service, kind of like a agreement on watching me work. So I don't know what's going on. And he pitched the idea that I could stream on both sites at the same time, so it wouldn't have to take me away from Twitch where I already have like a bunch of followers, or that I've already put in a lot of time to put a bunch of like to amass like followers. But it feels really weird having two separate chats going. Yeah, multiple chats is pretty messy. It feels weird. A way to combine them. I don't know if you could combine them. I don't see how you could combine them. Yeah. Do you know him? Or like, have you been talking to him? Yeah, there's a lot of things missing, like viewer list. You can't see how many people are watching you, or you can't see how many people are watching you, or if there even are people watching you, right? And like, it's really helpful having a viewer list. Also, like when the streams are streaming, there's no thumbnail of what the person is working on, so people can't, you know, judge from a thumbnail if they want to peek into the stream or not. Yeah, I admire him for trying to do something on his own. Well, he says he has a few other people that he's working with, but I admire that he's trying to do something with like not a lot of capital, and he's just like, he's kind of more or less doing it out of his home or something, I assume, because to go up against Twitch is such a task, you know? Like, I'd be really scared trying to go up against Twitch and And then you can just see YouTube is starting up their own streaming service, and like, how do you fight Google? Like, that's like really intimidating. Alright, I'll see you later, Owl. Yeah, I didn't really get to watch what you were doing. You were working in SketchUp. I've heard the name of that program before, but is it like a 3D program? You were doing like the floor plans for a building, right? Ah, okay. Yeah, I saw you were working on a comic. Your comics look really really nice and professional. It must take a lot of work doing a comic. Oh, I should turn on some music. You know, as much as I love GIMP, and I love the idea of GIMP, and I love that it's free and it's like a pretty good program, there are like bugs. There are bugs in GIMP that like are kind of like pissing me off. So I think I'm gonna have to switch to Photoshop. Okay, that's nice that you have, I don't know who those people are, but yeah, GIMP crashes, and I don't know if this is a bug that just happens to me, or happens to you. Like, sometimes if I take my cursor off GIMP, and I come back into GIMP, I'm using a pen tablet, it'll get really confused between, because there are different settings attached to the mouse versus the pen, right? So then sometimes GIMP gets confused as to what is moving on the GIMP window. So it'll like it'll switch between the settings that are connected to the mouse and the settings that are connected to the pen. Yeah, and then it'll like do weird stuff to your drawing. Like it'll, like if your mouse was set to eraser, it'll like erase a hole in your painting and you can't undo it. Like sometimes you can't undo it, it'll just leave a hole. Or if it was like a paintbrush, it'll leave like a black circle and you just can't undo it. You have to like paint over it somehow. Yeah. It's just like that kind of stuff. And then sometimes, what is it? Sometimes my pen tablet, although granted my pen tablet is a Graphire 4 from like 2005, sometimes my tablet will, GIMP will not recognize the tablet anymore or something, and then there will be no pressure sensitivity, and I have to like undo, like I have to reset the pen tablet settings so that it'll recognize it and like reinitialize it. So I'm like, as much as I love GIMP, and like GIMP was like my first program, first kind of like drawing program, I think I have to move to Photoshop and like other programs that are more stable. But at the same time, I don't know if there was a version of GIMP that was more stable and didn't have these problems. So I don't know if I have to find if I just have to fool around and find a different version. Yeah, mine's definitely ancient, so it might be a problem with my tablet and um, the drivers. Like, there are no drivers that really support this. I have to use a different. Yeah, I think previous like versions were more stable. The one thing that I do really like about GIMP is that you're able to make your own paint dynamics, and you can change like the pressure curve. That's like if you wanted to make a new brush that had like size and opacity control connected to pressure, you can change, like you can adjust the curve so that it's skewed one way or another. Like maybe you need to press more or press less to get full opacity. Oh yeah, yeah. I got a theme from the internet. I think it should be under my. It should be under my I think it should. I think there should be a link under me. I think I linked the theme that I'm using for GIMP under tools, maybe. Yeah, the GIMP theme. Yeah, it's under tools. Oh yeah, it's the default GIMP theme is how to put this gently, I don't know, awful for your eyes. Everything's so bright, and like GIMP is like this super light gray, and then the selection, like to see what layer you're on, it highlights in a very light gray, and it's like, how do you, I have the hardest time seeing what's selected or not selected. So this is much nicer. This is from that theme. That theme comes with a bundle of different types of themes. Like they have like slight variations, but the one I'm using is black and dark blue. So like things that are highlighted will be in this kind of dark blue highlight, and then everything else is like pretty much a dark gray. It's a lot nicer on your eyes, because sometimes it's hard to see colors, or see. It's just sometimes hard to see when everything's so bright. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. You just have to drag the files into your theme in the program files, drag it into the theme, and then like select it and then restart GIMP. Yeah, so right now I'm trying to think about, what to do, right? I need to like I need a plan. Like if I want to make this into something that I could make money off of, um if I want to be somebody who makes money off art and through like not through commissions or not through like working for a company, um, like from the internet, I definitely will have to make videos. I think making videos is an important part of that, especially if you don't want to always have to stream every day. Streaming 8 hours every day is, I mean everybody, like most people have to go to work every day for like 8 hours, right? But I think it's really nice. Yeah, if you're not, yeah. Like, and to be a smash hit, I don't know, it it takes a bunch of weird things to be a smash hit. Like, sometimes people become really popular because they're really good looking, or I don't know, some people become really popular because they know other people, and they get help from those people who are already popular. Or you have to be a very specific special interest kind of streamer or YouTuber. So yeah, but just thinking about all the things I have to do it's very daunting, you know? It's very daunting and very nerve-wracking just thinking about. Yeah. Actually, the day that I got a lot of viewers, I got a lot of viewers from, well, one day I was just complaining about, yeah, I think I'm going to end my stream from Watch Me Work. The day that I got a lot of viewers was, I was just editing League of Legends splash arts and complaining about how the male champions didn't have bulges in their crotches and they didn't have asses. And I was just saying, oh, it seems really unfair because all the female characters are hyper-sexualized. Like, they have huge breasts and they have really skimpy clothing and they have big butts and whatever. But all the male champions were pretty much like eunuchs. Like even when they're wearing like really tight pants, they have like no bulges. So then I spent the day like editing splash arts and just like giving all these champions bulges. They weren't obscene, but I was making them like anatomically correct, you know? I was giving them butts and I was giving them legs and I was giving them like bulges, and then I had so many people tune in. They're like, oh. I was like, I never knew there was such an audience on Twitch that were really interested in dicks and butts. So yeah, I don't want to be like, if you want to be like, I don't want to be gimmicky like that. I want to be substantial in what I'm providing. But I don't know, like, who's the most successful YouTube person? It's PewDiePie, right? And all he does is pretty much scream at his monitor. Like, he just screams at his camera while he plays video games. And it's like, and it's like, you know, like, is that not gimmicky? Like, I'm sure all his kind of his viewership is like young people, like young children, right? But I think there's definitely a model, like I think definitely if you want to make this a living, you definitely need to do, like, along with streaming, you should make videos, because I can spend 8 hours on here streaming, and that's not gonna, like, once that stream is done, it's pretty much over, right? Like, all the effort I put into streaming those 8 hours, like, all of that really just disappears, right? But if I make a well-edited video and I put it on YouTube, that gets to stay up there forever, and then like, other people get to come by and look at it, right, and watch it, and then I get views and I get subscribers or whatever, right? And I think that's very, like, in a way that feels way more efficient with the amount of effort that I'm putting out. Oh, do you? You can post your YouTube channel. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't watch your subscriber number. But yeah, it gets weird. It gets weird. Well, it's hard. Videos are hard, right? It's hard to get your videos seen. At least on Twitch, there's kind of a small group. I think Twitch is really ripe for growth because there's a lot of people, like, a lot of people who like video games like art, right? And a lot of people who like video games like art, so it kind of makes sense to it feels like there's, like, pretty decent overlap, that someone who likes watching other people play games might like watching someone, like, do art. It seems kind of loosely connected, and people can, like, stumble upon your Twitch a little bit easier than YouTube. It's really hard. There's a lot of weird things you have to do on YouTube to get people to watch your videos. You have to get people, like, you have to tag things correctly, and I don't know, there's weird stuff that you can do to get your videos seen. But I think there's definitely a good kind of, like, symbiosis between Twitch. Like, I feel like I get a lot more random people walking through my Twitch than if I were to just, like, put up videos on YouTube. But also, then again, on the other hand, it's what's the goal, right? Like, what is the goal? Do you want to make a brand? Okay. Oh, cool. I like that drawing you have of I like that drawing you have where it's 2009, 2011 to 2013. I think some people are doing kind of interesting entertainment. Like, there are some people that I see on Twitch that do, like, 20% of the time they do art stuff, but the other times they do, like, games, and I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. But at the same time, it's pretty confusing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, here, I'll show you. I'll show you one of mine. I did one of those. Ah, okay. That's a comparison of what I drew like 10 years ago versus now. It's always nice to be able to see your progress. I know the wolf on the left is like, I mean, the wolf on the right is not even, that's not even a dog. Like, that's not, like, it's just so silly. Yeah, I've never been somebody who was on DeviantArt that much, so, yeah, that's true. I don't know, it seems like, I don't know, even the creative side of Twitch, it doesn't even seem to be that much about the art. It seems like it's still just about people liking you. I think that the most successful streams, people don't really even care about what you're playing. It's, they care about you, right? They like you and they want to support you and they think you're fun and entertaining. And I think that's what that's what most of the really popular streams have in common, is that people like the person, right? There are there are some streams where it's just skill based, where like whether they're really good at League of Legends or something, and people tune in just because you're really good at that, and not necessarily because you're that entertaining. But I think, but I think, I think, um, I think raw talent brings people in, but what makes people stay and what makes people donate and what makes people subscribe to you is personality. Uh, I would hazard a guess that some of these really big streamers, like for League of Legends, that they have a lot of viewers, but they're not actually very entertaining in and of themselves. I think those people probably have fewer subscribers than somebody else who has like the same number of concurrent viewers, but they're more entertaining. Yeah. Your man girl voice? I think your voice is I think your voice is interesting. I think I think it's a refreshing change from all these like really squeaky sounding girls. I think your voice, like, I'm being honest, when I first heard your voice, I thought, okay, this is a woman that knows what she's doing. Like, your voice commands respect, and it sounds, and you sound really competent. Like, that's the feeling I got from when I heard your voice. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, she knows what she's doing. You know? That's what I thought, personally. But also I totally understand hating the sound of your own recorded voice. Yeah, hearing myself talk is the worst. So whenever I open my own stream, I instantly mute it. It's like the worst having to listen to yourself talk. It's like, oh god, do I sound like that? Do I inflect? Are those my inflections? Like, oh, this is the worst. That's cool that you do critiques. For me on my stream, I mainly do critiques. I You seem like a professional artist. I don't know, but like the amount of art you've produced seems like, I don't know, and then you're making your own comic that looks pretty professional. Are you like, what's your background in art? I think I want to do this. I want to do critique videos. Uh, that's the thing that is really fun and exciting for me. I like helping people, and I like showing people stuff that they've never considered. Okay, cool. Do you work in art? Do you like, I don't know. I don't really know what jobs are like in like the art, like drawing fields. Like, have you like did you work for somebody? Like, do you work at a company? Like, I really don't know how it works. I mean, I assume artists work at, I don't know, movie studios and game studios, but I don't really know. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've never done anything like I've never. I'm completely self-taught. I don't. I've never went. The only uh, the only learning I've ever done was like high school art, which is like which is like nothing. High school art classes are one of the most useless, like wastes of time. Oh, that's really nice. That's nice. It's nice that you have that support. Okay, so I mean, the thing that I do. So you have to be nice because he's sitting right there. The thing that I like doing is I like teaching people. So I encourage people to submit things to me, and then I'll critique them on stream. And not only do I critique, not only do I critique it, but I do a paint over, and I do a pretty significant paint over. So here's I save my critiques that I do because I think I want to do like a critique section on my DeviantArt. So I'll just put like a folder and I'll put a side by side of all the critiques I've done. Um, so this is like a pastel drawing somebody gave me, and then I critiqued it. But for me, I feel like it feels kind of lame when someone just says, you know, this eye looks weird, this pupil is messed up. There's no like humans don't have weird pupils like this. The pupils aren't like they're not comparable. There's no perspective here that would cause this eye to look like that. And like the way you've done your contrast is like the values aren't pushed enough. There's not, you don't have any deep blacks anywhere, or like bright, you don't have the deep blacks in certain areas to really push depth. So then I'll say this, and I'll say like these proportions are wrong, and then especially if they give me like the reference photo that they might have been working from, it's a lot easier for me to see where they've gone wrong. Because I mean, they like if they're working out of their mind, like if they don't have a reference and they're just working from their imagination, it's hard to say this is wrong, because they'll just say no, that's what it's like, that's what her face is like, and like how do you argue with that, right? So I'll say all these things, but then I'll actually do like a pretty comprehensive paint over. And I pretty much repainted this eye and repainted these lips, and I think like the difference is dramatic. Because sometimes it can feel kind of lame that someone just says, "Oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Fix it, right? Increase your dynamic value range. Increase this, and like make sure you consider the forms and contours of these objects on the face of the features, right?" It feels kind of lame for someone to just say that, and then they're like, "Okay, go. That's your critique." So it feels nicer for me to do a paint over, and not only does it demonstrate how to do it and that it can be done, but it also demonstrates that I can do it. That I'm a person that is qualified to give them a critique, because I can. It makes me seem qualified because I can directly show them that I could draw what they were drawing better, or in the way that I'm describing they should, like, change. I specialize in color. If you ever need any tips or have questions, let me know. Yeah, if you wanted to take a look at this painting, this painting's my painting, and it's kind of an older work, but it's like, the history of this painting is that I did this. I don't know if you remember, but on Facebook there used to be an app called Facebook Graffiti, and it allowed you to paint and draw something, and then you send it to somebody, and then it would send it as a video so they could watch it as like a little video, like a sped up little video. Oh yeah, you brought in the chin a little bit. Did you? The chin seems different. The contour of the side of the face seems changed. On the left one it's much more slanted, and this one you've given it, you added the bump where like the mouth is and the jaw is. Yeah, the face is shorter, right? The face is a bit shorter. Oh, and you move the nose. The nose is not so long. Yeah, it's not super different, but your proportions are more correct. Your proportions look more natural. The person on the left drew it kind of long. Everything was really long looking, which is not necessarily terrible. Yeah, the nose is pointed down quite a bit. You pointed it up. Yeah. Want to know how their style changed from the original, so I made it look like one of our older works. Yeah, consistency. I don't know, if you have any ideas about this painting on my screen, I hope it's showing. Yeah. If you have any ideas about this painting, I would listen. But yeah, on Facebook, yeah, so I painted this originally on Facebook Graffiti, a Facebook app, and then I was always pretty proud of it and pretty happy with how it turned out, but I just brought it into GIMP, and I wanted to like, this is the original. This is what the original looks like. It's kind of rough in places. It's rough here. They're just little rough areas, so then I brought it into GIMP and I just kind of like refined it a little bit. Nothing, I don't think it's like changed all that much, but yeah. it still has the overall, it still has the same overall kind of feeling to it. I find that for most people, oh, weird. I've never seen anything like this before. That's really cool. I've never seen anything like this before. That's so interesting. Yeah, I just started trying to learn how to do dark skinned. And different ways that can look. Color palette creator. Oh, this is really cool. Yeah, usually it was a departure for me. Usually I try to do realistic kind of looking drawings, and like I would more generally probably like do something like this. Oh. In general, I'd probably do something more this style. Like this isn't like super rendered out, but like, you know, something more realistic looking. But I was trying to go for like a more painterly kind of feeling to it, and I think it looks nice seeing the strokes. having no more painterly effect. Especially this area. I think this area looks really successful in how the brush strokes kind of are situated. And just like, I don't know, these little areas where it's backlit. I don't know. And the camera angle is really nice. Like, we're kind of below the children, and I don't know. It feels kind of feels interesting. It's an interesting moment. Also, I like the kind of complicated expressions that they have. But yeah, I'm still working on it. There are areas that are like rough, but I don't know. But it's always nice, a darker orange for the shadows of the yellow sweater instead of dark yellow. Yeah. To me, their expressions are a mixture of the one in the purple sweater. I feel like that kind of expression is like really frightened, and like she's almost zoned out, like how frightened she is. And then the one in the yellow sweater, her expression's really kind of like surprised, startled. But it's not just surprised and startled. It's a complex kind of emotion. I don't know. It's almost as if she knows something bad is going to happen, and she kind of knew it was coming, and she's kind of resigning herself to, like, okay, something bad's gonna happen. I don't know. I like the complexity of the expression, that it's not just one kind of, it's not just a very simple expression that it's just surprised or scared or something, but I feel like the complex expression kind of tells a story that you might be curious to figure out. I don't know. But yeah, there probably should be darker oranges or browns in the sweater. Yeah. Instead of like this very silly kind of like instead of like the really silly way I've darkened everything just with black, like that's obviously like really silly. Yeah. It was really interesting because the original painting, um, the program, the only options you had, and I did this with a mouse when I did it on the Facebook app. Like the app only had opacity control, like a color wheel, and undo, and like brush size control. So it was a very limited kind of program, but it was really interesting to see, like to try to see what I could do. Set to overlay. Actually, I've never done any of those. I've never done any of those. I've never done any of those kind of like layer filter stuff. I don't even know how to set it to overlay. Nope. How do I set it to overlay? Oh, is it the mode? How is the overlay mode different from just lowering opacity? Is it not the same as just having low opacity? Normal. Yeah, it's the same as just having low opacity. Seems like. Unless there's something else I'm missing. Oh, okay. Alright. But yeah, I'll consider that. I did this painting quite a while ago. Oh, yeah. I'll add you to Skype. I do have Skype. Oh. Maybe I'll switch this back to just GIMP. There we go. Yeah, no, I was gonna head out too. I need to make dinner and plan my course of action with all this streaming art stuff. Yeah, that would be really cool.